Hello and welcome back to Super Smash or Pass. Today, we're going to be taking a look at everyone's favorite Kremling villain, King K. Rool. So, for those of you who don't know, King K. Rool is the main villain of the Donkey Kong series, or at least he was. And King K. Rool hasn't made as many appearances in the modern day, but let's quickly run over King K. Rool's past and what games he's been in. King K. Rool first appeared in Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo back in 1994. He then went on to appear in the sequel, Donkey Kong Country Diddy Kong's Quest, also for the Super Nintendo, and the third game in that trilogy, Donkey Kong Country Dixie Kong's Double Trouble. And he was the main antagonist for all three of those games, which really built up his popularity. Now, in the N64 era, the Donkey Kong Country games stopped happening and they went over to a new formula. It became Donkey Kong 64, and it was a Banjo-Kazooie-esque collectathon game, which also included King K. Rool as the main antagonist of that game. Since that game's release, King K. Rool has not appeared in a main series Donkey Kong game. However, he has made quite a few appearances in side games and whatnot. So first off, he appeared in Donkey Konga back in 2004 for the Nintendo GameCube, as well as he made an appearance in Donkey Kong King of Swing for the Nintendo DS in 2005. In 2007, he appeared in Donkey Kong Barrel Blast on the Wii, and he also appeared in Super Mario Super Sluggers. And that was the last appearance of King K. Rool. Now, what you may be thinking, well, this character hasn't shown up for around 11 years at this point. Isn't he a little irrelevant? Well, we'll get to that in a little bit. Hold your horses. There's a segment thing here, right? That's how we do things. So that being said, let's move over to a potential moveset in Final Smash for King K. Rool. So King K. Rool has a Count Olaf level theatricalness and many different characters and many different costumes. You know, in the first Donkey Kong Country game, he has his classic design. He then goes on to have a pirate design in the second one, and a Frankenstein's monster slash scientist design in the third one. It's weird. In Donkey Kong Country 64, he's a wrestler. He also has appeared in like Egyptian garb before. So King K. Rool has a lot to pull from in not just looks, but also in moveset potential. Obviously, you have that little hover pack thing from Donkey Kong Country 3. You have his little gun from Donkey Kong Country 2. You have the crown throw, and I think that all of these would make for a great moveset. You know, like I said, I don't usually go too deep. I don't really go too deep into potential movesets because that's not my thing. But if you have a look here on YouTube or just on Google, I guarantee you'll find hundreds of potential movesets for King K. Rool. As for his Final Smash, I think they should pull from Donkey Kong 64 and have that wrestling King K. Rool form of his. I think that that's probably the best one to pull from because it kind of already looks more cinematic, and it also has callbacks to King Dedede's Final Smash in this game, where he has the mask and it's in the cage fight thing. I just think that that's the most they can pull out of. They could also probably throw in like Chaos or something like that to use as a Final Smash, but I don't really think that that's the best idea. And of course, with King K. Rool being a character from a franchise that already is in Smash Brothers, we don't have to worry about potential assist trophies or anything like that because it's Donkey Kong that's already in here. And of course, now we head over to relevancy. And yes, King K. Rool has been absent for a very long time. He hasn't shown up in a main series Donkey Kong game since the N64. He's been gone for a while. However, King K. Rool fans are some of the most passionate fans I've ever seen. Obviously, Kremlin Campaigner over on Twitter has been rooting for this character for as long as I can remember. It's been a while, and I think that fans are keeping this character alive. You know, he may not be the most relevant of Nintendo's villains at this point, but if you look at the villain roster and of the hero roster in Super Smash Bros., everyone's here. Sure, we don't have we don't have an F-Zero villain, or there's a couple of different characters that you could throw in villains here for, a Punch-Out villain or stuff like that. But for these main big villains, I really think that King K. Rool is the last fighter on that list, and he's also a super heavily requested fighter. With his most recent appearance as a Mii Fighter costume in Super Smash Bros. Wii U, I took that as kind of a nod of like, hey, we know you want this character. And so far, with the inclusion of Ridley, I feel like Sakurai is going for that we want to give you who you've been asking for mentality. Now, there's nothing in the back of this except for some 4chan leak, which I'm not going off of because, come on, guys, there was nothing behind that. It was just some like random post. I don't know. It could be real, but I'm not feeling it. So, with all that being said, I do think we're gonna give King K. Rool a I know he might not be the most deserving character when you look at the the analysis and the breakdowns of how long he's been, but really he is the last Nintendo villain we need, and he's a big villain. He's an important character in Nintendo's history. I would argue as important as King Dedede and Bowser. I just really think this character needs to be in here, and Donkey Kong needs more representation. It's one of Nintendo's first franchises. It's one of the biggest franchises. Keep in mind that as many people think that Donkey Kong is a spin-off of Mario, it's actually the other way around. That being said, I just think we need more villains in here, and King K. Rool is a great choice. So guys, what do you think? Am I just crazy? Am I spouting too much stuff here? Am I just buying into Kremlin campaigners' propaganda? Or do you think that King K. Rool should make an appearance in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? With that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Remember to like, comment, favorite, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. And also, this series, by the way, is on Instagram TV if you want to check it out there. At Trees Productions. This YouTube version's better, but it's on there just in case y'all are on there and y'all want to check it out. See you guys next time.